Hey, today we've got leftovers from Christmas, right? So let's make some ham and cheese pockets. I'm gonna go ahead and take you through the Fathead bread recipe, since when we did Hot Pockets before, we did not do the Fathead bread recipe. I just told you, pick your favorite Fathead bread, right? And so I'm gonna show you how I make my Fathead bread. So I've got a cup and a half of mozzarella, and I've got 4 tablespoons of cream cheese. Let me show you what that looks like. Here it is. So it is 4 ounces. Okay, so I cut the cream cheese in half. Okay, so I'm gonna stick that in the microwave for 1.5 minutes. And while that's doing there, in this bowl, I'm going to crack my 2 eggs. I'm going to get them ready. I've got a cup of almond flour. I'm going to throw that in. And I've got a 1/4 of a cup of arrowroot. Okay, so I get Bob's Red Mill arrowroot. Okay, that gives, for me, I like the crust better, so does my daughter. I like the crust better. Then I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Most people use baking powder, but I use a tablespoon of vinegar. I'm actually going to use 2 tablespoons. And that kind of it flakes up the dough a little bit, okay? And that's Bragg's. Here's where I'm going to put in my seasoning. So we're doing, let's see, I'm going to put in, okay, the microwave just beat, so we're going to stir this, okay? I'm going to stir it over here. You're just going to stir it around, try to mix it, incorporate that cream cheese from the mozzarella, and then you're going to stick it in for another 1.5 minutes. Okay? So I'm going to do a little bit of Creole seasoning and a little bit of Montreal steak seasoning for the pepper and the garlic that's in it to flavor my dough. Okay? And then I'm gonna fork out for that and mix it around. And it incorporates those eggs so that when it hits the hot dough, we gotta work really, really fast so we don't cook the eggs, okay? Get a spatula. Then we're going to drop it all on the parchment paper and we're gonna roll it out, okay? Okay, so there's that mixture. Sounds like it's almost done. It's starting to kind of crackle a little bit. It's starting to crackle a little bit, so you know it's getting all yummy, okay? So that's 1 minute, and I think we're ready, okay? So it should all be melted, and we're gonna go ahead and pour and stir at the same time. I do it as fast as I possibly can so that I'm not scrambling eggs, right? Then I can scrape the rest in. Alrighty. Get that all nice and incorporated with the melted cheeses. Okay, I'm gonna take just a little bit more arrowroot, a couple more teaspoons. Once you start making fathead bread, you'll get used to the consistency you're looking for and know that you need to get your hands really wet. See, now it's pulling away from the bowl. See that? So now it's ready. It's dough, okay? I'm going to take my watch off and get my hands nice and wet. Okay. Clean off the fork and pull out the dough. Yes, it's very warm, but it's not burning hot. Okay. I'm gonna get my hands wet one more time. I'm gonna bring it over, slap down some water, and then I'm gonna get this a little wet. Okay. Now we have our dough. Hi, my lovely rolling pin. I'm so happy with it. So when we moved to Florida, I gave my kitchen away. And I had several rolling pins. And I do believe my granddaughters got those to go with their Play-Doh tools that I gave them. Yeah. So, I'm rolling this out as thin as I can possibly get it, because it's really misleading. Okay, we're gonna have to bring some down here. It's really misleading how you think you'd want it a little thicker, but when it cooks, it really puffs up, and so it really gets thick on you in the oven. Okay. Get that more into a rectangle. That is how easy it is to make fathead dough. And I'm gonna square it off a little bit. You've seen me do that. It doesn't matter if it sticks on the bottom one as much, because that one's just gonna go right in the oven with the dough. Okay, let me get some water on that. Water's your best friend with fathead dough. Square that up. There we go. Peeling it off. Oh, I'm gonna have to get that wet and roll back over it to get that dough off. You don't want to leave your dough on. Okay, I'm gonna get that dough off of there. This is what we call technical difficulties, right? And this is why a lot of people will not show you fathead dough, because it's very temperamental, okay? But the key is wet hands, okay? But there's a lot of dough on here. I'm just spread it out, keeping that rectangle as much as you can. When you live on a budget and you're spending money on mozzarella cheese for dough, you better believe you're gonna scrape, okay? All right, and there's no shame in it. All right, there we go. There's our dough. Let me wash my hands real quick. All right, so we're gonna do ham and cheese hot pockets. And so I've got some ham here from yesterday that we're gonna cube up, and then we're gonna cube some pepper jack. Okay, I want all that juice on there. And get that out of there. Okay, so all of this really is entirely up to you. If you want to mince it and make more of a mince pie, go right ahead. I'm just gonna rough chop it in small pieces, okay? And remember, when you're buying ham, check the carb count and the sugar count. I was shopping for this ham, and I found ham with 10 grams to 12 grams of sugar, and that was not including the glaze that came with it. So when you're buying hams, be really careful about the sugar content. Boy, those hidden sugars that they put in the salt water that they inject into the ham so it's juicy, yeah, those will get you. Oh, that's some really good ham. This one had 1 gram of sugar in it. It was the smallest. The store didn't have any ham that didn't have sugar in it. So it's really, really important to check your labels. Yeah. I've got my oven preheated at 400. And these will go in the oven for anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes. That one's got some bone on it. All right. So, all depends on the size of Hot Pocket you want. You can make a big one and then cut it when it's done. And I find that that's really easy to do with the Fathead bread, is to just cut it after it cooks. But it still really is a personal choice. And I would use my pizza cutter to cut the dough instead of a knife. It rolls and cuts beautifully with the pizza cutter. All right, so there's our ham all chopped up, ready to go. Okay. Get another cutting board out and another knife. I'll do this cheese. So pepper jack. I like 50-50 portion. You do it however you like it. It really is a personal choice. That's what's so fun about cooking. You get the science in the baking part, you get the creative side, the right side of your brain, when you get to create what goes in the filling, right? So what I'm gonna serve this with is some mustard and mayo sauce. And I may put a little salad dressing in with the mayo and mustard to just kind of bring some other flavor into it, make it a little tangy. There's my oven telling me it's time. And I'm just gonna rough chop this. It's so fun to just create new Hot Pockets. I really like them. I want to do a meatball marinara Hot Pocket, just like you would, you know, the ones that you buy in the grocery store that are full of carbs and preservatives and chemicals, and your kids come home from school and pop one in the microwave. Might as well use your leftovers. They freeze beautifully. I made the turkey stuffing, the Bobby ones. Remember the video, if you watched my video, I made the Bobby ones for Thanksgiving with turkey stuffing and cranberry sauce that I made, the pork rind stuffing, right? Okay, I think my pizza cutter is in here. Yep. All right, so I'm going to attempt to make 4. Okay, so see how well it cuts? I'm gonna lay down my cheese. So that is 2 ounces of cheese on each square. And you can just eyeball that. And this is pepper jack again, which is a yummy, kind of gives you a little bit more flavor inside the Hot Pocket. And then basically 2 ounces of ham each pocket. And don't worry if it's really high. It will, this dough really does expand. That ham's not gonna go anywhere. Oh, nice, right? Okay, now take your, oh, that's what I did wrong. Hold on, I did these wrong. Oh well. Start peeling it back and then just using it. Remember, like I did with the bobby ones, you want to try to pinch it down to this edge, okay? Pizza cutter. Oh, I'm gonna get my hands wet. That'll make it so much easier. And you just shove it in there and pinch it off. Okay. Now, see, I meant to do it inside. So this one's going to be backwards. There we go. Okay. So that we can roll the wax paper this way. Okay. So let me get my hands wet again. I know the dough is very forgiving. It doesn't matter if you keep wetting your hands. Do what you got to do. And pinch it all in there. Okay. They may look a little funny right now, but they actually bake up really pretty. It's kind of amazing how forgiving this dough is. Okay, I'm gonna roll this one forward, roll it and pinch, and pull back, cut it again, tuck everything in. Oh, wet my hands again. And it's amazing that once it's cooked, it will not stick to this parchment. Tuck them all in there. Isn't that cool? And these will actually really grow in the oven. They may actually start to touch again. Okay, I think I have one more egg in here. I do. I'm gonna stick it in this bowl. Separate that. Stick the yolk in the bowl. Wash my hand. Get my fork. Okay. And then I'm just gonna spread a little bit of yolk on top. Makes it all nice and yummy brown. Why not the whole egg? I don't know. I like the yolk. I like the bronzy look it gives in the oven. Okay. You do. You. And then where's my Montreal? All right, we're gonna set these in the oven 400. There we go. Set it at 400, and we're gonna bake them up for 20 to 25 minutes. Some ovens, maybe as much as 30 minutes. So you'll see it in just a few seconds when they come out. Okay, so let's make this clear. Every time I cook something, it's usually for the first time, and you get to see my trial and my errors. So today when I pull this out, I just checked to see if it was done. I'm about to pull it out. Sometimes it's always up in the air whether I'm gonna succeed or if I'm gonna fail, but we're gonna see it together because I am human and you're gonna see my trials, my errors, and my successes. Okay, so let's pull it out. Because we can make everything into a success. All right. Nice and brown, but look at what happened here. Our bread kind of disintegrated and it melded together, which is not a big deal because once it cools, we can cut it, right? So when it cools down and the cheese is more solidified, I'll cut them, right? But that's the side, okay? And that looks really, really good. And I think I can make it so that the pictures come out really pretty. Okay, we're gonna make our dipping sauce. So in here, I've got 3 tablespoons of, it's actually leftover chipotle salad dressing mix, okay? So I've got that in there. Let me rinse this off. And to that, I'm gonna mix some mayonnaise. I, of course, use Chosen Foods. I've gotten the rest of the bad oils out of my diet. Okay, so I would say a good 1/4 cup. A small, that is about a teaspoon of Dijon, and then about a tablespoon of yellow, okay? We just want a hint of Dijon, and we're just gonna mix that up. And you're gonna check it. Yeah, that salad dressing really, really adds, okay. So maybe a tablespoon of Dijon. I want it just a little bit stronger in there, okay? Then, when you're out and about and you get these containers with the lids, just save them, wash them up and throw them in. And then you have that to go in here and you have a beautiful hot pocket, okay? It may not look beautiful right now, but as you can see, they don't stick, okay? And I'm just gonna cut them with the pizza cutter and serve them up for lunch. They don't have to be restaurant perfect to taste good, remember that. I hope that you'll try this and have a great day, and I will see you soon.